always try to find that extra lap time always in your head, and you never know when you're going to get the call for it's great to have VRS equipment to. And then in Formula 3 it gets more like an overall downforce loss. I won Champions of the Future, the race before the World Championship. It was just so much positive energy that I could feel from all the crowd, and it really, but you still don't get the G-forces, which they affect a lot your vision, your feeling on the podium. You see everyone down, you've just won, great things are coming. And
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another VRS Podcast. We have the pleasure and the honor of interviewing Nikola Tsolov. You guys may know him from Formula Championship winner, race winner, now being promoted to F2. You guys may have seen some of his streams. He's definitely out there, and he's got his own brand. So today we get the opportunity to sit and chat with him and talk about everything sim racing, formula racing, his aspirations, his goals, and things like that. So before we get started, I want to say thank you, Nikola, for joining us on here, and thank you for taking some of your time to join us.
yeah, thanks for the invite. Looking forward to it.
So I'm going to get started. I don't want to keep you and take a ton of your day, but you kind of mentioned this off mic. What's a day in the life of Nikola? Like, what's it like being you now that you've got all of these things happening all at once?
Yeah, it's definitely the last few years been changing my day-to-day life. Of course, it's getting busier and busier. A lot of training put into work right now because, yeah, F2 is definitely the last step before F1, and it gets really tough physically. And then with all the traveling, all the events you have to do, it's pretty easy to get sick. So you need to be in even better shape than just driving the car, just to be able to get through it. And you never know when you're going to get the call for F1 or a test or whatever. So you want to be there, you want to be ready, you want to make all the kilometers. So yeah, it's pretty important to work hard. So now, yeah, it's just been training this week. Pretty exhausted. Just came from a run. So yeah.
Nice. So training every day. So is it training 7 days a week, 5 days a week? Do you get any time off to yourself to just relax, maybe do some sim racing, things like that?
Yeah, well, it really depends on the week. It's so dynamic. So the weeks I get to stay here at home, like a week like this or the previous one, I get to train every day, because then when I start traveling, I miss a lot of days of training, which, yeah, I need to compensate in a way. Obviously, consistency is key, so you try to fit in trainings in between traveling. But yeah, definitely, obviously, you don't train the full day. Your body
Right.
can't handle it. So, now I get time in between for sim sessions, of course, and some time for myself to relax. And yeah, enjoying sim racing. So it's great to have VRS equipment to drive with and get the best experience.
Awesome. See, you've already transitioned to something I think that we were going to talk about, but I'll get to it now. Being that you use VRS gear, right? You're obviously a full-time racer, right? You're now moving up to Formula 2 with Campos as part of the Red Bull junior racing team. Congrats on all of that. But obviously, you're racing in real life. You're racing on sim. How do the two tie together? You have a full VRS rig, so definitely we know it could put out a ton of newton meters as far as wheelbase and things like that. How do you use them to tie together the in real life racing with the sim racing?
Yeah, obviously it's quite useful to the sim. Maybe a lot of real racing drivers don't really believe in it, but I've always believed in it, just because, even if it's not one to real life, you still um, always try to find that extra lap time always in your head. You're always looking for that last bit and trying this, trying that, which makes you quick in real life, because then you start exploring in real life. You know what to try. You're like, oh, in the sim I did
Right.
this. Maybe in real life you try it. Even if it's different things, your adaptation gets better. So, you know, for me, using VRS and having that very realistic feedback from the wheel, and then especially from the pedals, which are really good with the brake, you can modulate a lot. So I definitely use it whenever I can, and it definitely helps me then to get better in real life and reach my best performance.
Wow, that's awesome. It's nice to hear that the gear you use at home can play some impact on what you do in real life. And I think that's pretty cool because most sim racers don't understand how it could play in. Obviously, it's not the end all be all, but there are those nuances, like you said. You can use what you learn in sim to discover more lap time on the actual track. What's your favorite track and car combination in real life that you've raced so far?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't done F1 in Suzuka because I
Hmm.
think that I would love that a lot. Like sim racing, I love the Super Formula lights in Suzuka and the Super Formula in Suzuka. It's insane combination, so it's something I'm looking forward to driving one day.
Uh-huh.
But in real life, definitely, I love the experience in Monaco. You know, going
Okay.
close to the walls with F3. It feels fast. It feels you feel that adrenaline. So I'm looking forward to seeing iRacing add Monaco to the sim. That
Right.
would be fantastic. I'm also quick at it, so of course I like it. I love Portimao as well.
Ooh, Portimao is fun.
Yeah, and Spa. Yeah, there's quite a lot of tracks I like. To be fair, I've been enjoying Road America with the Super Formula lights as well in the sim.
Hmm.
Actually,
Okay.
uh,
That's a
fun
wide
racing.
open track too.
Yeah, because you get a lot of straights, a lot of opportunities for racing. Dirty air in the sim, it's not that bad, so you can. It gets fun, definitely with some mates.
So, dirty air. How much more powerful is it in real life? You just mentioned it. How much powerful is it in real life when you're behind somebody trying to pass them in maneuver, but you've got that turbulent air versus in the sim? Because in the sim we feel it a little where it can, you get some understeer or oversteer. What's it like in real life?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, in real life, it's depending on the car you're driving.
Hmm.
Usually in F4, you just lose a lot of front, so you just wash out um, completely. And then
Hmm.
in Formula 3, it gets more like an overall downforce loss. So you definitely lose at least 50% of your grip. So it's a
Wow.
big drop down. On the sim, it's nothing really. I mean, yeah, you do feel a little balance change when you get close to someone, but you don't really
Right.
lose. So yeah, okay, the car is more under theory, but if you just kind of know that before the corner and then you position yourself better or something like that, you don't really lose time. You take more curb or whatever, you do some little sim trick. Yeah, there's not really any dirty air. I would say in iRacing. Of course, there's a
Okay.
little, but yeah, and I think there shouldn't be any. Honestly, it just makes it 10 times better.
Okay. No, so yeah, see, look, that I mean, you have the purists out there who think that it should have some level of dirty air or have all of it, but I like what you're saying there. If you're in the sim, like being able to race close, that just seems like fun to me. So I appreciate you saying that. You just added some validation to what I think. So I appreciate it.
100%. Yeah.
What's your most memorable moment you've had? You've won championships, you've won races, you've pulled off some amazing moves on the track. What's your most memorable moment you've had so far to date?
Yeah, there isn't particular one. I
Hmm.
can name at least four moments or
Okay.
five that were really sensational to me. You know, starting from karting, I won Champions of the Future, the race before
Hmm.
the World Championship. Um, that was big. Then obviously in F4, when I
Yeah.
won the title, my last race in F4, I finished off with a perfect weekend, all poles, all fast laps, all wins. So just to prove myself
Hmm.
that I was meant to win it. And then heading into F3 this year, Monaco was something very special to me.
Hmm.
Was P1 in every session, in FP, in quali, then winning the feature race, being much quicker than everyone else. So that was sensational. Also won Monaco 2 years in a row, so
Hmm.
that was a fantastic feeling. Then another one definitely is when I got to drive F1 for the first time in my life.
Hmm.
Um, in Bulgaria, it was fantastic. I got all the city, my hometown, Sofia, the capital, watching me do donuts and for the
That's
Red Bull
cool.
short run. That was huge. It was just so much positive energy that I could feel from all the crowd, and it really um, brought me to a really good place mentally and in my mood. Obviously, it was exhausting, to deal with all the fan stuff, etc. But with all that positive energy, a few weeks later, I went to Red Bull Ring, where I had another sensational weekend where I was first every session. Unfortunately, I got disqualified from the race after that due to a small technical infringement. But yeah, those were the best memories from this year, for sure,
Wow.
and just overall for my career. So yeah, there's 4 or 5.
That's awesome. I mean, these are things that everybody out there who aspire to be a race car driver or even do it in a sim just can, like, I smile just hearing it. Congrats to you and all the successes you have seen so far, and I wish you nothing but more. So driving an F1 car, how does it feel? How much power? Like, clearly you've driven all these other cars, but then you get in an F1 Red Bull racing car. How does it feel stepping on that throttle for the first time? It's gotta be incredibly fast.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I didn't get to drive it on a track.
Right.
I could still accelerate in the city, which obviously gives you even more feeling of the speed.
Mhm.
It definitely accelerates really fast, and the impressive thing is not the initial, because obviously initially you're breaking the grip, so it cannot really do much more
Mhm.
because you're just sliding, burning out. But then it's so impressive how it never stops accelerating. It doesn't hit that cliff. It just keeps going up and
Just
up and
keep
up.
going.
It keeps pulling you, and it's constantly just pulling you. So the feeling is fantastic. Although I think Formula 2 is not too far of the
Mhm.
power and acceleration from F1. And I had a F2 test around 2 weeks ago. My first one
Cool.
I did one day, and yeah, that felt fast as well. It felt pretty similar to the F1. It just kept pulling and pulling. Obviously, F1 is probably a little bit more,
Mhm.
but yeah, already 3 to 2 is quite a step in power, definitely.
Wow. Wow. I'm excited to see your F2 start. So you race with Campos and Red Bull Racing. What's it like being a junior driver? Like, people say it all the time. He's a junior driver for this team. But what's it like what's it like being a junior driver?
I mean, it really depends on the academy. Obviously, Red Bull for me is the best. They support you massively. They're always in your
Hmm.
side. Of course, you hear all these stories from that they demand a lot, that they put a lot of pressure on you. But as soon as you join the academy and the junior team, you realize why they do that. It's just because they give their absolute best. They give
Hmm.
you everything you need, all the equipment, all the preparation, all the information about you, your body, your feedback on track, your driving, sim sessions with F1 engineers. They put in all this for you. So obviously, if you have all that, you need to be performing, you need to be doing well, you need to give everything back again. And I think it makes a lot of sense, and they are harsh for a reason.
Hmm.
So for me, it's developed me so much as a driver this whole year. Um, and yeah, with all the sim work I've been doing, and knowledge, and improvement on my feedback, so then we can work on the car better with the team. You improve the team as well, then you overall become faster, which is really important in the sport. And yeah, they gave me a lot of opportunities, so I'm super thankful, and I think it's definitely helped me develop so much this year.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, again, but like you said, like they give you all the tools to be the best version of Nikola, right? They say, here's everything we know about you. Here's how the car operates. Here's how you drive. Here's how to get the best optimal time. So it makes sense that, as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. And clearly, they put a lot of faith in you. Obviously, you're moving up to F2 next year due to your hard work. So congrats again on that. So that means that they have expectations and high ones, and they should. They're Red Bull Racing, like you said. They're one of the best teams on the grid. They consistently fight for championships every year. They have probably the best driver on the grid, hands down, right now. And at the end of the day, they expect greatness, and it's great that you get that opportunity to pursue that dream as well. Now, being that you with Red Bull Racing and clearly you're in the sim, how's the sim feel different when you're doing it at the facility with Red Bull Racing versus racing at home? Because we see them on TV, but I don't know what it's like. Most people won't. What's the difference you think? The main difference you can say is between the two?
Yeah, it's a bit hard to compare because it's just so different. I mean,
Hmm.
there it's a full on. Imagine your big living room at home,
Hmm.
maybe double that. into,
Okay.
or triple, depends on one room, where they've got these huge dampers that are holding a sim rig up maybe 2 meters high.
Wow.
And all these dampers are moving, like side rotating, and you're sitting in an actual cockpit with an actual wheel. You're driving exactly the model from the Formula you're driving. So
Mhm.
they've put in all the information from the real car as a setup into the sim as a model. Then you can work on setup as well. They, yeah, it's just totally different.
Sounds totally
Um,
intense.
yeah, it's just a lot of budget spent into it, and
I can
it
imagine.
makes sense different. It's very, yeah. The thing is, it's so specific to one thing. You
Hmm.
know, if you open iRacing or set a course on a sim like that, I don't think it will make a difference to your home sim. But the thing is, they've got their own software as well, and
Hmm.
yeah, all this putting together into one specific thing, of course, is going to be something ultimate. And still, yeah, it doesn't create the same feeling as driving in real life.
Right.
Although I've heard the F1 sim is so close. I haven't driven it yet, but it's very close to the real car. But you still don't get the G forces, which
Right.
they affect a lot your vision, your feeling. So yeah,
So you
that's that.
mentioned
Those,
so you mentioned something there, and I don't have that question here, but you said your vision. How does it impact your vision when you're going, as fast as you're saying? What's the impact on your vision while you're driving? Because clearly I'm never going to experience that in the sim. What's the impact you're saying when you say your vision?
yeah, definitely it's something big. Comparing to sim racing, the way you see things, everything is coming quick, and you actually feel it. You're so close to the ground. A lot of the times on sim racing, it's so easy to take curbs. They don't you
Hmm.
don't bottom out. Everything's just so soft, especially on iRacing. So it's just so easy to drive over curbs, bumps, even on tracks. Well, in real life, everything's just bouncing. Everything's stiff. You're
Right.
taking a curb, you're going off, you hit the floor, you damage it. It's just a lot of things into one, and yeah, you cannot just play around that much as you can on the sim, and that's why you find these tricks on the sim that don't work in real life, especially with curbs.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it changes. You're just bumping a lot,
Okay.
a lot.
So clearly your eyes must stabilize enough that you can see, and be able to maneuver, because I've seen some of the moves you pulled off. It's like, wow, I don't know how, like, pulling it off in a sim sometimes you're like, I don't know how I did it in the sim, let alone doing it on a track. So that I get why you're saying, and obviously your eyes must adapt to what you're seeing, because from what we can see watching like an F1 race when they have the helmet cam, it just looks like it's just bouncing the entire time, and sometimes you're like, how do you stabilize that? But from what you're saying is, you, through training, clearly you must get more acclimated to it compared to the first time you do it to now.
Yeah, 100%. The best training is driving. Unfortunately, you
Hmm.
don't spend much time driving, so you actually have to be really prepared for everything. Clearly, um, your eye brain combination, because your brain operates everything, the way you balance all these bumps and everything, it has to think fast. It has to process everything fast, and yeah, it's something we try to train with reaction time or doing a few things at the same time,
Hmm.
etc. So you can keep your brain active. But yeah, definitely in the winter, a lot of drivers are testing F2 just to before the season starts, just to get their brain working again up to speed. Because obviously, after if you didn't drive for 2 months and you jump back in, the first day is always again like wow,
So it's rough.
so fast. So you think you're
Really?
in the limit, but you're under it. You cannot control everything so much. So
How long does it
it's.
take you to get used to it, to get back in the swing of things, to get acclimated?
I've just finished the season and keep driving, so I can't remember now. But uh, I don't know. Depends. Really depends. Sometimes
Hmm.
you're like, oh my god, I didn't drive in so long, or didn't go on the sim for so long. It's gonna be bad. You jump in first lap, you feel so comfortable, and you're like,
Hmm.
whoa, I didn't expect that, and you're already on it. That's when you know you've prepared good. sometimes you're just feeling good. You haven't done much work, and that's why you expect it to be bad, but it's not. Or other times you feel good and you jump in and everything's just a mess. So uh, you try to understand it, but yeah, it's a bit up and down sometimes. And yeah, understanding it further, you can be more consistent with it.
Wow. I'll be honest. Like someday, I hope that someday I could just get in a form in open wheel car. It doesn't have to be, you know what I mean, just any open wheel to experience that. I think if people could understand exactly what you're saying, how you go through this day in, day out, the preparation, you prepare every day in the sim, in the gym, do all of the things so that when you get in the race, you're prepared. And even then, you can do all of that and still not be as dialed in as you want to be. But that's what all the preparation is for.
Yeah, and that's the moment you don't give up because yeah, it's so easy to just stop, and a lot of people are like, yeah, I did everything I could and it didn't work out, so that's it, I'll give up. But it's not how it works. If you Yeah, the winners stay on top because they never gave up.
Yeah, absolutely.
They kept trying after all the fails. So yeah, this is the key. It's so easy to say it when you're at your home sitting on the sofa, um, but yeah, if you just push through always and have the right team and people around you, you get through it.
That's great. And now it's going to lead me to another question. Like, what motivates you? Like, what keeps you getting up day in, day out when you're tired, when you're sore, when your lap times aren't where they should be, where you have a bad race, where you get disqualified? What makes you get up every single day and says, I got this? No matter how bad the day before it went, what keeps Nikola moving forward?
Yeah, I personally think you're never fully motivated all the time.
Mhm.
There is obviously days you get up and you're like, it's so early, it's too
Right.
much. Loaded with all this media stress. I'm loaded with all this
Mhm.
gym training. My neck hurts, my body hurts. I'm exhausted mentally, physically. Everything's going wrong. My family's mad at me. My boss is mad at me. There's so much shit going
Right.
on, and at this moment, I think you try not to be alone in moments
Mhm.
like that. You try to have close and right people around you.
Mhm.
Um, for your physical wellness, your mental wellness, uh, and you just get through it. Like for example, today I've been training all the week and
Mhm.
also last week, and I'm just completely tired, and I didn't want to go for it. I had to sprint up a mountain 20
Whew.
times for
Whew.
100 meters with only 1 minute rest in between. And I was here on the sofa before that. I just finished my sim session coming from the workshop, and I was like, man, I'm tired. I don't know if I can do it, whatever. Then
Mhm.
at some point I was like, now or never. I got up, I went to
Right.
the mountain, I ran, and now I feel much better that I did. Obviously, it was so tough even during the training, but you just push through it and you keep going. And obviously, you cannot just suffer. You need to give yourself little traits here and there.
Right.
Be like, because I trained that day, maybe I have 1 hour off and I can go see a friend. I can
Yeah.
spend more time with my family, and things like that. You keep constantly, not too much, but giving yourself a little dopamine just
Yeah. Absolutely.
uh, to keep yourself happy because it's about balance. At some point, you can get depressed from too much training. Obviously, you're so alone at some point that yeah, it gets too much. And when you start seeing the improvement, which is slow, and you sometimes not realize it just because it's a process, but when you get that winning feeling, that prize, it's even sweeter because you worked so hard for it. So yeah, this is the best feeling.
Absolutely.
You're up there on the podium, you see everyone down, you've just won. Great things are coming, and all this hard work's actually for something. So that's how you keep going. You remember those moments, and you remember to enjoy. You remember to
Absolutely.
enjoy this whole process of getting there.
Absolutely. No. The I like the process. Like I like that you emphasize all the hard work you put in because sometimes you'll see somebody who's younger and they'll not understand that it's the hard work you've put in to get here that now you're here. Somebody's going to look at you and say, well, Nicola's an F2. but not remember all the losses, all the pain, all the suffering, all the tears, all the sweat, all the missing family time, missing fun time, like you said, all the sacrifices you make to get here. And it's great that you see that it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. And I'm glad to hear you say that, because many people need to understand it's all a process. Even if you're just sim racing, right? Like, nobody goes into iRacing and they've got a 10K iRating, right? Nobody does that. You start off in rookies and you just learn the basics. But clearly, again, your hard work has paid off. And again, I keep saying congratulations, but clearly that hard work you've put in, that dedication, that drive has gotten you to F2. And I hope it's only a matter of time before we see you in F1. That'd be great, because then I could say I interviewed an F1 driver, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
As far as F1, like growing up, clearly you love motorsport. Who's your favorite childhood idol? Like the guy, if you said, I wanted to be like him growing up, who was that guy that motivated you or even gave you the inspiration to want to be in F1? Because I know who my idol is. Who would yours be?
Mine is definitely Ayrton Senna.
Nice.
All time.
Love it.
Yeah, I think his dedication, his feel for the limit, obviously his way of being as a human is sensational. So yeah, I think he's the one that's inspired me the most to keep chasing, going after my goals. Obviously, Max is someone I look up to. Verstappen, I think he's probably the best ever in the sport. And yeah, it's someone that I want to be next to one day. It's someone I want to be, trying to be better than him, trying to reach his level.
Absolutely.
I think he's, at this moment on another planet comparing to everyone else. So, and the hard part is that everyone knows it around him, which is even harder for the competitors around, because they know that he's just there and he's never out of the game.
Right. No, he is right now. He's the best driver. And he's not even in the best car right now. Like I'd have to say, if I had to look at the best car, obviously McLaren just won the constructors title, and but like that kid is amazing. He's fast. But I like what you said. You train to be better than him. And that's how it should be. Like, you don't want to be as good. You train to be better than Max someday. And maybe you are, maybe you aren't. You don't know. But you can look back 20, 30, 40 years from now and say, man, I gave it everything I had. And I like that mindset that you have, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep you moving forward. So, no, that is absolutely amazing. I do want to pivot, though. Let's talk about, you have a brand, right? And I got a chance to see the shirts and all the stuff you have on your website. And, let's talk about you and your brand and how you're bringing that to the world. So let's talk about your brand that you have and what motivates you to have that and to push it out to your fans and supporters.
Yeah, so it's something I've been thinking for a while, and it finally came into realization end of last year. It was a hard process because you need a team around it, and that requires budget, and priority is always racing. So managed to get that around me one way or another, and yeah, I just love fashion. I love expressing myself with the way I look in general, day to day, outside of racing. And yeah, I just made a collection of merch at the moment that is something I would wear on a day-to-day basis. It's not just pure merch for the sport. It's clothing that is, something I like. So let's say an oversized loose fit, very good material that you would like to wear for a dinner or a party, or it's not just to wear on the track or whatever. It's something that you would actually consider using in your day-to-day life,
Cool.
for fun stuff. So that was the whole idea behind it, and yeah, it's working out good for the moment. There's not much new releases, hopefully soon coming, but yeah, right now it's just so intense with racing that the full focus is on it.
Right. No, for sure. I mean, by winning and driving and now going to F2, that gives your brand even more time to grow and expand, right? Like the more you win, the better you drive, the more people see you, the more they go, wow, okay, let me visit his website and let me get a shirt. Someday maybe hats and gloves and socks and all those different things. Is there something that you have in mind that you'd love to bring to your store that maybe doesn't exist out there?
That's a good question. I haven't thought of it yet, but there's one thing that doesn't exist is a racing driver making um, streetwear or
Hmm.
really trendy and fashion clothing.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot that have the potential to,
Hmm.
like Lewis, he understands that pretty well for sure in
Yeah.
F1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that makes me different is that no racing merch actually is trendy. You see a lot of fake merch out there online that is
Yes. Quite a bit.
oversized, cool. It looks cool, but it's fake, and this one's real. So yeah, this is a goal for one day, but I
Mhm.
haven't thought of it much lately, just because it's been exploding with racing.
No, rate and rating should shake up your time, like you said. I mean, that is
Yeah.
clearly that's the bread and butter. That's what gives you the opportunity to do all the things. So I have one more question for you, and then we'll end this. But what are you looking forward to most in the F2 season? Like, what's the thing or the moment, or what are you looking to? Obviously, you've got this promotion, it's going forward, Campos and Red Bull Racing Junior team. What are you excited about? Like, I'm excited to see you in F2, but what are you excited about?
Yeah, I'm excited to have a really strong start,
Hmm.
an amazing preparation, have a strong start, impress in the beginning. Um, I want to be really fast in qualifying. Then whatever
Hmm.
happens in the race happens. It's
Right.
just showing Euro pace, which hopefully the car is in the window to show
Hmm.
that as well. We'll work with the team to improve everything, me and the car both. And obviously fighting at the front is all I need, and is everything that's gonna impress. I would just want to impress and just get to where I want to be.
Actually, I do have one follow-up question. You said something. Would you rather be the person out in front or the person chasing?
Of course, in front. I would always want to
I,
be.
Trick question, but I know some people like when I'm playing in sim, I love chasing somebody down and then getting them. But yeah, it would make sense that I just want to be in front. Clean air, no dirty air, dealing with the whole tire issue, things like that would make sense in real racing, but in sim, it's totally different.
Yeah, let's put it in a way. On Saturdays, there is a good sprint race. I want to be chasing from 10th, and then Sunday, I just want to drive off from first.
That exactly perfect, perfect. Yeah, because that means you got pole. So man, I'm excited about F2 next season. Well, Nikola, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day and schedule to join us here. Any parting words you wanted to say for the sim community or the formula community out there before we sign off?
No, I think I've said pretty much everything, and yeah, thanks to VRS, I can use it to my best abilities at home, and prepare on day-to-day basis.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on. We appreciate everybody out there for watching this. If you have questions, reach out to us. We appreciate you being part of the sim racing community. Thank you, Nicola, for being part of VRS. We enjoy having you, and hopefully, we can get you some more cool items here in the near future. So, as always, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow, join us here at VRS. Let us know what you think, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.